plenty to be thankful for. I've got eyes to see with, ears to hear with, arms to hug with, lips to kiss with, someone to adore. Now, how could anybody ask for more? You see, my needs are small. I buy them all at a 5 and 10 cent store. What's that? Still, I've got plenty to be thankful for. Well, good evening and welcome to our next installment of Doug and Alex, or Two for a Song, here at the Emerson Avenue Salons. And we are grateful to be expanding and continuing this journey on along the road of music with these wonderful folks, Jackie Anderson and Bill Ewing, who are our hosts here. And that's a long-standing relationship which we care a great deal about. So we welcome you as well to join us wherever you are in the world. And we look forward to sharing just a few songs that mean a lot to us. So thank you and welcome and happy Thanksgiving. I've got plenty to be thankful for. You see, I've got these two eyes to see with, I've got two ears to hear with, two arms to hug with, lips to kiss with, someone to adore. How could anybody ask for more? My needs are small, I buy them all at the $2 store. Oh, well, I've got plenty to be thankful for. We have an ensemble of clappers tonight. Yes, clap on, clap off the clapper. That was by Irving Berlin, and you will know it, of course, from his 40s masterpiece film.
What's that?
I was just checking to see if Alex is awake. So it's not really a holiday show tonight, but of course we're in that season. So we thought we would share a couple of things that we've always used and worked with and performed with great verve and love. So that was I've Got Plenty to Be Thankful For. And this is called It's Winter Again, which is from 1932. So we're going to go back a little bit and hope you enjoy it. When the music of the silver sleigh bells fills the air, and the moon at night finds a world of white, when Jack Frost comes from his hiding to your window pane, winter time is here, how I love it, dear. Come and cuddle by the fire in the evening, we'll forget about the snow and rain. Though the skies are stormy, your arms will warm me. It's winter again. It's so thrilling when it's chilly in the winter, and the frost is on the window pane. Hear those sleigh bells ringing, oh, my heart is singing. It's winter again. The winds may blow, who cares? Just let them blow. I'll write to you love letters in the snow, so come and cuddle by the fire in the evening. We'll forget about the snow and rain. Though the skies are stormy, your arms will warm me. It's winter again. Let's do verse 2. Oh, beautiful, Alex. A little music box. How I love to watch the snowflakes fall upon the ground. What a pretty sight in the starry night. Winter seems to bring you closer, closer to my heart, while my arms unfold love that can't grow old. Come on and come by the fire in the evening. We'll forget about the snow and rain. Though the skies are stormy, your arms will warm me. It's winter again. It's so thrilling when it's chilly in the winter, and days, just watch them blow. I'll write to you love letters in the snow. So come and cuddle by the fire in the evening. We'll forget about the snow and rain. Though the skies are stormy, your arms will warm me. It's winter again. Though the skies are stormy, your arms will warm me. It's winter again. Thank you, thank you. The last of our sharings in this moment. You'll know a song called Count Your Blessings, but this ain't it. This is actually from 1933, and it's featured in a film called Joe Palooka, which featured Lupe Velez and Schnazola, Jimmy Durante, who introduced Inca Dinka Doo, and Lupe Velez introduced a song called Like Me a Little Bit Less, Love Me a Little Bit More. And it's a cute little number that's more like an aria.
But that's not the one you're doing.
It is the one I'm doing.
Count your blood.
Yeah, Count Your Blood.
Oh, no.
Ignore him. He's been asleep for hours. His hands just keep playing. You can't stop it. The opening of this, the verse, is written by the homespun 19th and 20th century poet Edgar Guest. Just the verse. And then the chorus, the refrain, is composed by Irving Caesar, who was a well-known composer of that era. The music is by Ferdy Grofe of Grand Canyon Suite fame, and who was the original orchestrator of Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. So it's an interesting combination. We call it a Frankenpiece, composed by several. And here it is. Chorus, verse, chorus.
Oh, yes. Glad you reminded me.
Yes, he needs a little help. Move it along. Count your blessings. You will find quite a few. Count your blessings, and you'll find when you do, life's dearest treasure has not passed you by. Love beyond measure, we share, you and I, these happy moments, count them, and when troubles appear, we'll surmount them. That is why we are here, dear, I'm confessing, I'll be yours all the while, so just count your blessings and smile. The road may seem endless and distant the dawn, your life may be threadless as you wander on. Still with love we receive you, and true hearts to believe you. Life is still worth the living. Think of what it is you're always giving. These happy moments, count them, and when troubles appear, we'll surmount them. That is why we are here, dear, I'm confessing, I'll be yours all the while. Just count your blessings and smile. Oh, great one.
Oh, he wants I should play.
It's about time for Alex to noodle. So take it away, my
So,
friend, while I go and drink some.
And now
water.
for the, it used to be called a piano specialty. You might have either dance band performance, one of the pianists or two of the pianists might do some solos. Well, here, there are two of us. I'm going to do a solo. And this one is from 1930, a successful show called Fine and Dandy by a wonderful songwriter named Kay Swift. And this is one of the great romantic numbers of the entire era, 1930. It's called Can This Be Love? And I have arranged it from it's a much simpler score. I mean, the score, if I'm to play it as written, sounds like that. Now, if I were to perform like that, I wouldn't be playing at Jackie's and Bill's salons. So thinking about how simplified the original template is, you'll see what the various embellishments that I put into it in the period style. It's called Can This Be Love?
Well.
You wanted I should make it longer?
I thought it was going to be longer.
Well, next performance.
I didn't have time to finish my cigarette. Yes. So, rather than just dumping a bunch of holiday tunes on you this year, as we have often done in the past, we have one more for you at the end. I decided that I would share a couple of groupings with you of songs that are related to either someone we love or someone we loved. And our first grouping is dedicated to a performer, a lady named Lillian Roth. We've been doing a number of hers for years, which we're about to do for you. That is from the 1930 film Madame Satan, which was directed by Cecil B. DeMille. I have described this on international radio at great length, so I will leave it to you at this. She plays the girlfriend of a married man who teaches his wife how to win him back. And then the whole thing ends, I'm greatly reducing this grandiose film. The whole thing ends after a ballet mécanique on a dirigible with that very blimp catching fire, but everyone had a parachute and they all dropped to the ground, still holding their champagne bottles, and then the end credits roll. So it is a classic pre-code nonsense film directed by one of the greatest directors of all time. So here it is. It's called Low Down, and it is sung by Lillian Roth, who plays the character of Trixie, with her musical group, an act which she has, and it's clearly not her only source of income. So here it goes.
Here it goes.
I will not be sitting on the piano, which she did. Oh, play it again, that hot refrain, that snappy string, 'cause I'm dying to step. I got a rep for what's a pep. Don't send them away, tell them to stay, tell them to play that sweet low melody. Do it for me, I wanna be just low down, low down. Don't tell me to slow down. I'm saying when they start playing that red hot rhythm, you'll find me with them. New tunes, blue tunes, just give me a few tunes to jazz to. If someone has to put pepper in it, then I'll begin it. I love all the din that put the sin in syncopation. I do now and then get a big yen for any new sensation. Bach and Chopin can't give me what jazz can. No new kick, I like my music low down. Bach and Chopin can't give me what jazz can. No new kick, I like my music low. Oh, I love my music low down. Finally one they like. Either that or they've had enough wine now. Ladies and gentlemen, Lillian Roth is probably the only woman I will ever love. But she almost could turn this old gay guy. I just absolutely fell in love with her. The first time I saw her was 1929's Love Parade, sitting next to Lupino Lane doing a comedy number, which Alex and I used to perform with our friend Carrie Paladin. Let's Be Common. And I was immediately smitten. And the more I know this woman, the more I think she was a great, but she should have been greater. She had a little problem that we'll talk about in a minute, that she had to struggle with most of her life. But this was a young woman who started at the tender age of 6 or 7 in the world of performance, including silent film and vaudeville, and performed through until stereophonic sound in I Can Get It For You Wholesale. She was above Barbra Streisand in that billing, and she also toured again with Barbra Streisand in Funny Girl, and continued to sing close to the time of her passing. So she's just the greatest. Animal Crackers is a little film by a group of nobodies that you may have heard of, called the Marx Brothers. And she's in Animal Crackers, and she introduced this duet by Bert Kalmar and Harry Ruby. Here we go. CVC. Remember, not too fast. Tell me, dear, why am I so romantic? When you're near, why am I so romantic? lips meet mine, that's certain something comes stealing up and down my spine. I don't know, what is it you do to me? You don't know half of the good you do me. Other boys bore me, they just leave me blue. But why am I so romantic with you? All the boys I've known used to say I was made of stone. I would always leave them alone in despair. I was on the pan, I was called an electric fan, told I'm even much colder than frigid air. I began to wonder if I was all wrong. I thought so till you came along. Why am I so romantic? Somebody tell me. How could I get this romantic? I can't figure it out. What a grand feeling when your lips meet mine. That certain something comes stealing up and down my spine. I don't know. What is it you do to me? I can't. You don't know half of the good you do me. Other boys bore me, they just leave me blue. But why am I so romantic with you? Alex and I pieced together this number. This, I may be misspeaking, but I think I'm right, that Miss Roth introduced this number. I think I'm right about this. You will know it, so I'm not going to say the title, but it was certainly a signature piece of hers. It is from 1927, and if you're Googling Lillian Roth tonight and you come upon this bouncing ball musical short, you will be no doubt charmed as she dances around and sings to the bouncing ball and leads us all. If you all don't know what I'm talking about, in the old days in the movies, you didn't just get a movie, you got a newsreel, you got a musical short, sometimes you'd get a short subject, and then you'd get the film, and even sometimes other things. And they would introduce popular songs this way, and the words would be printed on the screen, and the artist performing the song knew that this was going on and would be very often encouraging you to sing along. So if you all know this number, please feel free to sing along wherever you are. But it's going to be pretty high and pretty fast, as Alex is playing in all the known keys in the Western world. So here we are. It's I'm not going to tell you. You'll know it. Good luck, my friends. Oh, I'm getting a van. Okay. Ain't she sweet? See her coming down the street. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Oh, ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice. Now I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast an eye in her direction. Oh me, oh my, ain't that perfection? I repeat, though I feel it's kind of sweet, and I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? There she is, that's what keeps you up at night. Oh gee whiz, that's why you can't take a bite. Those flaming lips, that flaming youth. Oh mister, oh sister, ain't it the truth? Ain't she sweet? See her coming down the street, that's very good. Oh, I ask you very confidentially, ain't she sweet? Oh, ain't she nice? Look her over once or twice, and I ask you very confidentially, ain't she nice? Just cast I won't get into my professorial lecturing, but the 20s and the 30s felt very different from one another, and you can see all of that in the 20s. The tempos were fast, and people were still partying up until the very crash. So that was that. Now, this is a number that I learned years ago before I knew that Lillian performed it. I learned it from a rather nasal crooner named Rudy Valley, and I learned it from his organization, Records, years ago, and used to perform it when my band first went out as a trio. We were called Misbehavin', and we did this number, and I'm really hoping I can remember it. So here it is. It's called Honey. Let's see. And this is nowhere near in tune, so it's very authentic. All right, here we go. Seen as the June night, and in the moonlight, fragrant roses in bloom. Garden bench with just room for two. You are the shero, I am the hero. Love is prompting the play. Here's the cue where I say to you, I'm in love with you, honey. Say you love me too, honey. No one else will do, honey. Seems funny, but it's true. Loved you from the start, honey. Bless your little heart, honey. Everything would be so sunny, honey, with you. Come on in, Alex. I'm in love with you, honey. Say you love me too, honey. No one else will do, honey. Seems funny, but it's true. I loved you from the start, honey. Bless your little heart, honey. Everything would be so sunny, honey, with you. Let's do verse 2. One thing is certain, second act curtain shows a wedding in June and a sweet honeymoon for two. With your permission, no intermission. There's so much in my heart and so much to impart to you. Oh, I'm in love with you. Oh, honey, say you love me too. Honey, no one else will do. Honey, seems funny, but it's true. I loved you from the start, honey. Bless your little heart, honey. Everything would be so sunny, honey, with you. You will not have heard that in a lot of salons this evening, that's for sure. Lillian had a comeback. She had several comebacks, actually. She is the person about whom the book she wrote, her own life story called I'll Cry Tomorrow, is made into a movie as well. And unfortunately for Lillian, she was open about her alcoholism and other problems because she was trying to help people. But as the American publicity machine will do, it kind of became that's all anybody wanted to talk about with Lillian. So she was much more than that. We all have our foibles. But Lillian was a victor and came back from sort of relative disappearance into active performance again, and did so for the rest of her life. Another little short that she did, which I particularly enjoy, is a little short based on a song called Down Among the Sugarcane by Charles Tobias and Sidney Clare and Peter DeRose. Household names, of course. This is from 1929, and she sang it with great aplomb. So here we go. Verse, chorus. Verse, chorus. Fancy. when the shadows start to creep and the birds are all asleep, that's when you'll see somebody and me walking through a quiet little lane to a field of sugar cane. It may not be rosy, still it's nice and cozy. I mean it. What a wonderful feeling, more than I can explain, when I'm walking with my sweetness down among the sugar cane. If the moon comes a-stealing, I will never complain when I'm walking with my sweetness down among the sugar cane. Little stars are winking down at us from above. We know what they're thinking while we're making love. They're jealous, there'll be oodles of kisses, more than I can explain, when I'm walking with my sweetness down among the sugar cane. Turn around into that second verse. Oh, well, what's your so fancy? You can always find me where sweetness always fills the air, just strolling along and singing a song nightly with my sugar hand in hand. Anyone can understand the reason I'm happy. Who wouldn't be happy? What a wonderful feeling, more than I can explain, when I'm walking with my sweetness down among the sugar cane. If the moon comes a-stealing, I will never complain, when I'm walking with my sweetness down among the sugar cane. Little stars, they're winking down at us from up above. I know what they're thinking while we're making love. They're jealous, there'll be oodles of kisses, more than I can explain, when I'm walking with my sweetness down among the sugar, down among the sugar, down among the sugar cane. Thank you. You can tell she was a belter, as my voice will tell you. This is the final number that is in this little section about Lillian Roth. And I swear I'm not being paid by her estate. I absolutely adore her. I suggest you get to know her. There's some straight movies that she was in as well. Another pre-code movie that might be interesting for you to find out about is one where she's in jail. And it's, Alex, do you know the movie I'm talking about? It's going out of my head.
See what?
The movie that she was in about jail life. Something about the women. Well, I'm having a senior moment. Anyway.
Like Judy or?
No, I'm talking about Lillian.
Lillian about jail life.
Yes. Well, go look it up. You can find it on YouTube, my best friend.
I'll take out my cell phone right now.
Yes, do it. Yes. Pre-code, which means it's pretty edgy. I suggest you go look it up. Right? This number is actually was performed by Judy Garland, whose centennial we are in the midst of. So how this number got into this show is in one of her comebacks, Miss Roth included imitations, or she called them tributes. She said that the people were far too wonderful to imitate. So she would try to get the spirit of the person into the performance. And she made a great success of singing this number. So I've fashioned together a tribute from me to Lillian, but also to Judy, and it's called You Made Me Love You. And it was sung by Judy in Broadway Melody of 1938. So bear with me as we create this whole schlemiel. Are you ready?
I give you one note.
Not so fast in the chorus, please. Dear darling Lily, I am saying this to you, and I hope that you will hear it so you'll know. My heart beats like a hammer, and I stutter and I stammer every time I see you at the picture show. I guess I'm just another fan of yours, so I thought I'd stop and tell you so. Oh, you made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. You made me love you. And all the time you knew it. I guess you always knew it. You made me happy sometimes. You made me glad. But there were times, dear, you made me feel so bad. You made me sigh for. I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you. I want some love that's true. Yes, I do. Indeed, I do. You know I do. Give me what I cry for. You know you got the brand of kisses that I die for. You know you made me love you. Gee, Lily, I don't want to bother you. I guess you always get a lot of guys telling you how wonderful you are or something, but I just had to stop and tell you what a great impression you've made on my life and how much your music has meant to me, how powerful your presence was. I remember the first time I saw you in Love Parade, and I thought, why isn't this name a world-renowned name? Why aren't people still talking about this woman? Every bit the belter of Ethel Merman or Judy Garland. Beautiful, looked great in a dress, incredibly talented, incredibly sensitive and direct. I don't know, Lily, but as long as I'm around, I'll always be singing your music, and I'll always be talking about you to keep your memory on the lips of everyone in the world. I love you so, that's true, yes I do, indeed I do, you know I do. I don't care what happens, let the whole world stop. As far as I'm concerned, you'll always be the top, and you know you made me love you. Thank you.
I gotta follow that.
Now it's time. Yes. Good luck with that, my friend.
Well, here we have a definite good luck with this. Several decades ago at the Library of Congress, in fact, it wasn't Library of Congress, I think it was back in 1990, I was in England with my wife Sarah. We went to an archives and we came out with really a ton of really obscure stuff. A lot of it published in England, a lot of it actually published here and sent over for licensing. But one of the British scores that I picked up was a piano medley / selection from a radio musical. We're talking not a stage musical, one where they gathered an orchestra, singers, all sorts of whatever other staffers they needed, conductor, and this was performed only on the radio, on BBC broadcasts. If you find, well, I found interneting various instances that this was broadcast in the mid to late 1930s on radio in England, probably in the Commonwealth. Anyway, the title of the musical is Mr. Barley's Abroad. Now, this doesn't mean that he was cross-dressing in the evening, but I have no idea what the show was about, other than something to do with foreign travel. It is written by sort of a second or third line British light music composer named Geoffrey Henman, Henman, and I just think this is one of the most glorious scores by a nobody I have ever read anywhere, ever encountered. I sent it to a really quite knowledgeable and talented British friend, and he is an equal crazy sheet music collector to me on this side of the pond. He'd never seen this. And after reading through it, in agreement. Let's see if that is enough of a leading question to make you all agree with it. Mr. Barley's Abroad, selection from the radio musical play. It's arranged by a light music composer in his own right, a guy named Haydn Wood. Haydn is spelled like the composer Joseph Haydn, Haydn Wood. And he could just as easily at the time been writing melodies like this. Here he is arranging the score, and then I'm embellishing that, and apparently conducted the score on the radio. Here he goes. you like those tunes enough, maybe he'll sing two of them that got published. Not today, though. Not today.
Only for a bribe, maybe.
That's right.
So, my goodness, we're coming close to an hour, host. Should we cut the program short?
More.
Keep going? Okay. All right. I don't want to take advantage of your goodwill. How do I... He said, how did he come after me? How do I come after that? It's crazy. Beautiful.
I said the same thing to you. It's really a gorgeous
I
score.
know. It's a shame we can't stand each other. It really is. It is a gorgeous score.
Yeah, really. One after another. You know, and a nice
really is.
selection of tempi.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Alex has a collection that you've all heard us say ad nauseum is over 50,000 individual sheets of music, and then show scores and movie scripts and songs, and it's just the amount of music that was being composed and published in that era is staggering, and it is quite possible to live an entire life and never leave that era musically. It is it's crazy what was going on back then. Just beautiful, and all around the world. So enough of my poetic musings. So we'll get back into the swim of things here. I think if this stool goes down, it will be a great comedic moment. I just heard it crack. At least I hope it was the stool and not me. This is a song that came from some interactions I had with a good friend of mine named Rick Colom. We mention him often in our work because Rick was the recorded music equivalent of Alex. I would go to Rick's house and he had a gigantic collection of 78 RPM records from the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s. And he would say, you've got to know this one, you got to know this one, you got to know this one. And so Rick is no longer with us, but his collection is on YouTube. If you look up the Rick Colom, Colom collection, it is unequaled in what would be called big band dance music and or suite music. He wasn't as much a jazz aficionado, but you can't have the two not intersect with one another. So, Alex, why am I remembering Frank Signorelli?
He and Matty Malnick. Matty Malnick was a violinist in Whiteman's band.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Signorelli was one of the major pop pianists, novelty. You know, he could play any idiom probably a good studio pianist here and there. Mm. And together they wrote a ton of pretty much standards, even though I'd have to take out the cell phone Googling to tell you them all.
Well,
yeah, it's stunning stuff.
In case you are not as imbued and buried in and soaked in this music as we are, the Whiteman band he's talking about is the Paul Whiteman Orchestra, which was a huge, very large orchestra in the 20s and 30s, which was a dance orchestra, a true orchestra, which debuted people like Bing Crosby, Little Nobody like that. And so that's what he's talking about when he says the Whiteman band. They also debuted the Rhapsody in Blue. Hey, I tied that together with Ferdy Grofé from earlier. So these are a series of songs that that I picked from my interactions with Rick, songs that we've enjoyed performing, and some of them we've never performed, so I hope you enjoy reading through them with me. So welcome to our lecture recital. Here it is. This first one's called I'll Never Be the Same. I'll never be the same. Stars have lost their meaning for me. I'll never be the same. Nothing's what it once used to be. And when the songbirds that sing tell me it's spring, I can't believe their song. Once love was king, but kings can be wrong. I'll never be the same. There is such forget someday. Telling myself, maybe it's best this way. While I pretend I'm satisfied to have it so. In my heart, I still know.
Mention that we were seaming together two songs from 1932, which were about separation or loss or can't have or once had and can't have anymore. And the second one is Strange as It Seems, with the music composed by Thomas Waller, also known as Fats Waller of Ain't Misbehavin' fame, and words by Andy Razaf. So you don't get better than those two songs. So now this is, as we're landing, we're coming slowly in. This is a piece called The Breeze. And in the musical theater world, we would call this a patter song. And the music and words are by Tony Sacco. That's a daily name, isn't it? Everybody talks about Tony Sacco. Isn't that a topic around your dinner table, Tony Sacco? Dick Smith and Al Lewis. And that's all I got. Anybody, anything you want to share about these guys?
No.
Okay. Damn, the composer is quitting on me. All right, so here it is, The Breeze.
1934. You will always find me here beside the sea, because beside the sea we said adieu. Though I don't know where my wandering love can be, wherever she may be, I'm telling you. Day after day I'm waiting patiently, and when the salty wind is blowing from the sea, I pretend that it's the breeze that's filling the sails, that's moving the ship, that's bringing my honey back to me. I always keep my window open wide. I like to let the friendly breeze come right inside, and pretend that it's the breeze that's filling the sail, that's moving the ship, that's bringing my honey back to me. Mr. Wind, keep blowing stronger, 'cause I must have that gal of mine. Every day seems so much longer. Don't forget it's daylight savings time. I get so lonesome waiting days and weeks, but every breath of air that lingers on my cheeks seems to whisper it's the breeze that's filling the sail, that's moving the ship, that's bringing my honey back to me. Let's have some fun. Roll along, now, Mr. Wind, keep blowing stronger, 'cause I must have that gal of mine. Every day seems so much longer. Don't forget it's daylight saving time. I get so lonesome waiting days and weeks, but every breath of air that lingers on my cheeks, it seems to whisper it's the breeze that's filling the sail, that's moving the ship, that's bringing that girl, that beautiful girl, that's bringing ashore the one I adore, bringing my honey back to me. Well, that was fun. Thank you. Thank you. So these last two numbers are about hope and joy, and the first one is actually a holiday tune. It is by Willard Robeson. It's our next to last number, and since we're over time, I'm not even going to pretend that we're getting an encore. We're just going to do it for you. But this isn't it. This is our holiday wish for you, and it is not a regularly known Christmas tune, so we like to share those unknown things with you. Willard Robeson and Jack Palmer. Slowly! What? Oh, yes. And we'd like to dedicate this to our friend Margie in Chicago. Happy holidays, Margie. Here we go. When you walk down the street and the stranger that you meet whispers, "How do you do?" You can tell that Christmas spell. Every heart gets a lift when they buy that certain gift for that somebody who loves so well. That Christmas spell. You see frosty little noses, red as little roses, pressed on every toy store window pane. Once again you stop and mingle in the spirit of Kris Kringle. every laugh a jingle bell, singing Happy Noel. This old world could not fail if that feeling would prevail every day of the year. Life would be so swell, in every heart would dwell that Christmas spell. Yes, expressively, Alex, take us somewhere, yeah? Thank you for joining us. We had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and please stay well and safe. Go get that booster. I got mine. I'm boosted and boosted again. We want to take care of each other this holiday season as we get more and more in each other's presence. Let's make sure that as we're giving presents, we don't give any unwanted presents. So make sure you take care of your health and look out for each other. Because really, in the end, we are all we have. You see frosty little noses, red as little roses, pressed on every toy store window pane. Once again you stop and mingle in the spirit of Kris Kringle. Every laugh a jingle bell, singing Happy Noel. Give us some chimes there, Alex. This old world could not fail if that feeling would prevail every day of the year. Life would be so swell, in every heart would dwell that Christmas spell. Sit down. We're overtime. They don't pay overtime in this joint. All right. So before we go, we'd like to share this one more number with you. It's become a signature number of ours. In September, we had a chance to perform in Chautauqua, New York, in the outdoor amphitheater. It had been a while since these pipes had to fill a 4,500-seat room, but I must say I did it, as did my friend Alex here. It was a great thrill to be in a big space like that again. But it's always great to come home here to Jackie and Bill's. It's almost Alex and Doug's now. So here we go. This is a number called Making the Best of Each Day, originally featured by Eddie Cantor. Here we go. We know that roses won't grow at our door unless we plant them there. We know the happiness that we're striving for is what we make it. Here's how to take it. What does it matter if skies are not blue? Life never promised a rose-colored view. Still, we go along like a lot of folks do, making the best of each day. What if our clothes have been worn quite a bit? Somewhat old-fashioned in style, we'll admit. So you fix it and sew it and change it to fit, making the best of each day. Now, there's a lot of things that we miss. Still, our hopes are never gone. You see, we know that a smile and a kiss helps you carry on. What if our dreamboat somehow doesn't sail? Whether we're lucky or whether we fail, still we go along to the end of the trail, making the best of each day. All right, as we go forward into this holiday season, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot more hopeful than last year, that's for sure. As I said before, take care of your health and take care of each other's health. But get out there and enjoy the holidays. We can hug each other again. We can be together. We can share a meal together. Heaven forbid.
And as we go into this holiday season to celebrate, let us keep in our hearts the over 700,000 people in our country and the millions worldwide that were taken by the pandemic, and reach out with a special word of love to those who are grieving that loss to this day.
Now there's a lot of things that we miss, still our hopes are never gone. You see, we know that a smile or a kiss can help us carry on. Oh, what if our dreamboat somehow